Mr. Mayor, members of council, Roxbury Hands, here to speak about the solid waste recycling contract. Let me go ahead and just kick off with just a brief summary for this evening. First thing I want to do is give you a recap since we last spoke about this topic, which is the March 28th Town Council meeting. Since that meeting, at that meeting, town staff gave you some additional information about each contractor. And since then, the town attorneys have been coordinating with each finalist, Waste Connections and Waste Pro, on confirming the terms of the contract and the scope of services. What we're going to do is, in your packets, you were provided what in essence, and I'll ask the attorney to disagree with me, but these are in essence kind of signature-ready contracts with each of the finalists. And what I'll do this evening is provide you just a brief overview on services that are provided by the contract, the rates, because the rates have changed slightly since you last saw them, and then just any distinctions in the contracts. And there are some subtleties that we just want to explain to you to make sure you have a complete understanding on each contract. And then at the end of this, we're going to ask that you make a contract award for this contract, and then authorize the interim town manager to execute the contract. So let's go ahead and kick this off. And a lot of this will be repeat information, but just for the benefit of the audience, I want to make sure everyone understands what the contract is addressing. And that is, this contract will provide weekly curbside solid waste collection services, as well as bi-weekly curbside recycling and yard waste collection. This will also provide quarterly bulk and what is called alternative recycling materials service that we provide at the curbside. And then, in the instance that we have an emergency storm event, each contractor will provide emergency debris collection if needed. And then we also have services for our town facilities and special events. And then also we're providing full services to the public schools located in the town of Indian Trail. Okay. Let's go ahead and jump to the rates, which is certainly a very important topic. So, since if you recall during the last presentation when we shared rates with you, there was a dramatic difference in the rates between the two what we consider to be the two finalists. Since that time period and through the contract negotiation process, the rates have been refined and have actually gotten very close together from each vendor. And so this is kind of a modified, you've seen this table before, but it's just been updated, and if you can believe it, we tried to simplify it a little bit as well. But what I would have you focus on are the numbers in this section here. And so what in essence you see here is you have our current rate structures here in gray. We have Waste Connections, which is one of the finalists, and their rates here, and then Waste Pro here. And so for the solid waste service, Waste Connections is proposing $3.99 per home, with Waste Pro slightly higher at $4.03. Tipping fees are very close, $32.50 per ton for Waste Connections and $33 for Waste Pro. Recycling, $2.55 per home for Waste Connections, $2.59 for Waste Pro. Yard waste, $1.09 for Waste Connections, $1.05 for Waste Pro. So the solid waste, the recycling and the yard waste differences in essence kind of cancel each other out, the 4-cent difference. So what you see in terms of the comparison of the two contractors from a service rate standpoint is a difference of 4 cents per household coming from the solid waste, and then the 50 cents per ton difference in the tipping fee. The other the other difference, which has a little more significance, is with the quarterly bulk material pickup. That's when you got that couch you want to get rid of, or the mattress, or whatever it may be. Waste Connections is offering to do that service gratis at no charge, and then Waste Pro is charging or is proposing $2,260.80. And so when you extend that over 4 payments per year times 5 years, it adds up. And so when we compare the rate structure between the two, and using our best calculations, we come up with really a difference of about 1% plus or minus between the two, which is very good. I mean, it's fantastic. And when you in terms of a dollar amount, we're talking about around, I'm looking at Jim, but around $93,000 difference estimation, estimated. 5, okay. Over the 5-year period. And so that's the core rates that are being proposed in this contract. And as you can see, regardless of the contractor selected, if you compare those to our current rates, this will be a very good contract for this financial standpoint. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about the distinctions in the contract terms. And again, most of these are just kind of subtle differences, but we just, for transparency purposes, we did want to make sure you were aware of it. So the first is probably a more sizable difference, and that is in terms of the vehicles used. Waste Connections is being contracted to use new vehicles because that's what they proposed in their proposal, whereas Waste Pro will be reusing their existing fleet that they have on hand, since they are the existing service provider. With Waste Connections, there is no fuel surcharge in their contract. At Waste Pro, there is going to be a diesel fuel surcharge, and so what that means is if for some reason, over the course of the contract, diesel rates start increasing significantly, there's a provision where they can recoup some of that cost through a surcharge on our bill. It's not terribly uncommon. The third piece is termination of convenience, and that is if the town just for whatever reason decides it doesn't want to be in this contract anymore. The town attorneys have negotiated a provision called termination of convenience. With Waste Connections, there's a couple provisos in that. One being if we decide we want to terminate the contract because someone else is giving us a lower price, we are contractually obligated to allow them to match that rate. But if it's not, if we want to terminate for any other reason, we can do so. So it's a subtle difference, but I just want to explain that. For Waste Pro, it's an unconditioned termination of convenience, whether it's for price or whether it's for any reason under the sun. Their contract allows that provision. The next one, service rates for Waste Connections, service rates may increase with any increases in government taxes or fees. There is a request process for that, so it's not a blanket provision, but there is some allowance for them to justify the increasing of the state. North Carolina increases some cost of theirs. They have the ability to request recouping some of that back. For Waste Pro, the service rate's fixed regardless of any increases in taxes or fees. And finally, in terms of the service rate and tipping fee, there's, as we've talked to the council throughout this RFP process, we've always said the town will maintain control over where the solid waste material goes to which transfer facility. And so we've maintained that control through this contract. And so in the, I'll call this the unlikely instance that the town wanted to change facilities midstream in the contract for whatever reason, under the Waste Connections contract, they will have the opportunity once again to kind of match. If it's for cost, they'll be given the opportunity to match. If they cannot match that price for whatever reason, we'll have the ability to make the change with no penalties. If it's for some other reason, if it's for a higher cost, and for some reason, and I don't know why, but we decided we wanted to change for a higher cost, we would have to pay a penalty and a surcharge, if you will, in the contract. For Waste Pro, if we want to change transfer facilities, we can change it to any facility. There's no penalties or additional fees or charges for us. So again, a lot of these are just little contract distinctions. We want to explain them to you. As you can tell, with some of these, particularly the latter couple, they're probably unlikely scenarios, but there are distinctions between the two contracts. We want to make sure that you understood them. Yes?
At this time, is there still a window of